Khan. Shalom, this your brother JAHsh. And just out doing a walk, you know what I'm saying? If you can see behind me the trees. So it's a nice day down here in JAHsh, you know what I'm saying? Right in the middle of warm weather and cool weather, so pretty much it changes every day. Hey man, just gotta say all praises to YAHAWAH, you know. That's pretty much what it be. Cause hey man, this social media thing it's getting to a lot of brothers, you know what I'm saying? Like just to let y'all know, you know what I mean? Cause a lot of I get an inclination or a feeling that a lot of brothers don't think that I'm around, so to speak. But when you say around on social media, you got to put it in context, you know what I'm saying? Social media, around, when someone says you're not around and they're talking about social media, then that means a certain imprint that you're leaving on social media, you know? So I always keep that in mind with what I post and the perception that people have of you, of the stuff that you post, you know what I'm saying? I try not to talk shit about brothers because every day I get up and I have to repent for the things that I have done, for the thoughts that I have had towards people, towards myself even. So, you know, and as far as Torah nights is concerned, I never left Torah nights, just to clear that up. I don't have no enmity with none of the brothers in Torah nights, because I just call it like I see it, you know what I mean? For brothers that I said that I didn't get the feeling that they were Israelites, it still remains. You know what I mean? It's just something that's within. YAHAWAH will always reveal to you the goings on, especially the goings on that particularly just deal with you. Sorry, I didn't realize that was so close. So, you know, it's easy to sweat everything, you know, it's really easy to sweat everything. But it's all important, man. It's important to know the Torah. It's important to have YAHAWAH within you, right? But what's the most important thing is for you to know your place in the scriptures, because every brother is not in the same place in the scriptures. And I mean that on all levels. Some brothers are destined to speak specifically on the tabernacle, on the temple, on Ezekiel's temple, on even the Revelation's so-called heavenly temple. So, but the thing is, you can't make yourself fit into those things. You either see it in the mind, YAHAWAH has revealed it to you, or he hasn't. But that doesn't negate your importance as far as being in Israel, or being an Israelite, or being Yasharah. You know what I mean? Because everything can be relatable in a parable or a metaphor. And there are high levels of metaphorical speech. Brother Judah would call it mashaling to some degree, or mashal, or Mashiach, you know what I'm saying? Whom we are. So Torah Knights are those who uphold the Torah. And at first it could be the first 5 books, commonly called the Torah. Or it could be the Torah within, your Torah. Every day, your life, this is Torah. You know what I'm saying? This is Tanakh. You get up, you breathe. Yahawah has given you the Rawak. Yahawah has raised you up. And Yahawah has revealed to you that there is no other Elohim or other God than Yahawah. So, this must come across in your everyday walk. Now, granted, it's not the easiest to have that come across your walk at a Babylonian job. But what is the Babylonian job here for? Is it not for us to take it over? Or have y'all forgotten the meek shall inherit? That's why I tell brothers and sisters all across the board, do your best in whatever you're doing. I can't down you for working here in Babylon and having a Babylonian job, you know? Because I see the opportunity for you to be a spiritual representation of what Yahawah and what the Most High has you here for, regardless. And I'm not also ignorant of the fact that people are aware of the Most High, even if they're not calling him Yahawah. I'm not ignorant of that fact. And I try to take that into account in my thoughts, in my walk, when dealing with people, and when dealing with other people, you know. So, some people know a lot in YAHWAH. Some people know a little. So it's our duties to further expound on it, you know. For the people who know a little bit, you can give this person so much encouragement so that even that little surpasses what you even have in your lot. And that's what I hope to do. You know what I mean? Because dealing with social media and dealing with technology, you can't be on the same time frame as everybody. You just can't. And so that's why, me personally, I don't diss another brother, or I don't condescend, or I don't even give, because the technology and internet is about impressions. You give the impression, right? And there's always going to be an impression of you on your imprint that you leave on social media and the internet. It's just the way it is, you know? So I'm not the type of person that speaks for Yahawah. You know, I hear Yahawah speak within me. And sometimes I hear Yahawah say, don't say nothing at all. Because Yahawah is doing it. And Yahawah, I'm not the only Israelite that Yahawah is doing things through. People just don't understand that us being here in the flesh does a lot to this place. You know, it affects this place. It affects everything that's around us. You know, me out here walking affects this whole, I'm interacting with all of this. You know, people are looking at me right now, walking and talking on my phone, you know, during fall, during this time. All of that is important to Yahawah. All of it, the whole thing, every little single detail. That's why when people say the devil's in the detail, the devil ain't in the details. Yahawah is in the details. The devil's missing the details, and that's the problem. You know what I mean? So, we are the Son of Man. We are the Son of Man. So-called Jesus, so-called YAHWAH, that is the message. YAHWAH represents Israel. Israel is the Son of Man. So says Yahawah. Yahawah says, serve no other gods besides Yahawah. Meaning, there is no other gods besides Yahawah. Yahawah is Yahawah, 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 is Yahawah. That's the first commandment. If you can't understand the first commandment, What do you understand? That means you don't have access to wisdom. That means you don't have access to knowledge, which none of y'all own, by the way. Everyone claims to have knowledge, and you would almost go as far as to say that you own knowledge or that you have a grasp on it, but you don't. Because knowledge is here, knowledge is talking to you, and as you can see, you don't have knowledge grasped. Wisdom, you should seek wisdom above all things. Knowledge is important, but wisdom is more important. Because with wisdom, you utilize the knowledge, you put it to action, you give it momentum, you praise YAHAWAH. Force. It's like the brother Judah says, force. Now, I'm not going to claim to be a manipulator of force or an understander of how to project force blasts. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to say that it doesn't happen, because I've done it. But the key is that you have to let YAHAWAH do it. It has to be natural, so to speak. Because once you start getting into trying to manipulate forces and thinking that you have a grasp on it, you're going to end up like Solomon, fucking up. You know? See, that's the difference between Dawud and Solomon, is that Dawud had a grasp on it. He didn't fuck up. He was just a warrior. Solomon had a grasp on it. He fucked up because he started pimping it out. And that's why a lot of brothers, a lot of times they think that I may be holding things back or not explaining a lot of things, but that's not the case. The case is YAHAWAH has informed me of what to say. And if it runs out, then I just stop talking. No ifs, ands, or buts. Yeah. So here we are, y'all. Here we are. What are you doing for YAHAWAH today? What are you doing? You don't have to do nothing on the internet. It all starts from your thoughts. It all starts from what's within you. Most importantly, what's within you puts out a vibe throughout the universe, puts out a ripple, a droplet of water on the ocean. Where's the ocean? It's right here. Did you know that there's underwater lakes? There's bodies of water under the water. So if you catch me fishing right there, sit down. You know, cast your pole. You see, that pressure is way heavy. You know, mountains, streams, palm trees, deserts, winds, lakes, valleys, sheep, ram, oxen, garments, tzitzit, head coverings, Nazarites, Levites, Zadoks. Some bro just asked me from his car in the turning lane that if I did tattoos. You see what I'm saying? When you walk with YAHAWAH, man, you walk in peace, man. That could have been a brother asking me for some bullshit, or like trying to sell me some bullshit, or just trying to do something, man. But nope. He seen my tattoos on my arm. He asked me if I did it. What if I did tattoos? I would have had an opportunity right there. I would have had an opportunity to make something. Who knows? Is it too late? I'm 38. Could I still get into tattoos? I don't know, man. That's up to YAHAWAH, you know? But I'm not a tattoo artist. That's that's another one of those taboos that I get from a lot of Israelites, is that they think that Hebrews for some reason never had tattoos. And starting off, I always inform them, did you know that the word tattoo is a Polynesian so-called Polynesian word? First and foremost, it's not an English word. But if you look in our language, you see the ta is a sign. Then it should dawn upon you, if you study a little bit, just a little bit, that ta is a sign. In Paleo-Hebrew, a lot of the times, the symbol for the ta was a cross or an X. And if you believe what Yahawah says, when Yahawah says that we are like the Ethiopians, or the Cushi, or Cush, if you look across the ocean, you see some of the Cushites, they got tattoos on the middle of their forehead. Got little crosses, little X's. Some of them, it means the Christian cross. But if you look close, on some of them, it represents a symbol. But you gotta look close. And that's something I can't teach you how to do. I can't teach none of y'all how to study like me or like us. I can't teach some of y'all how to meditate and to focus, to find a focus. But what I can do is stress meditation and focus. Because we are here in the flesh. And you have to deal with what the flesh deals with. Emotional states, feelings, and you have to be able to relate that to what you read in the scriptures. Far be it for me to say that Yahawah is like a human. But yet Yahawah created human. So it should be no mystery that Yahawah has emotions. We have emotions. Emotions have a function in this realm, in this reality. But it's not the only function. We also function in the mental, in the spiritual realm, the soul realm, where you are. And this is where the difference is in a lot of Yahshua, right? Some Yahshua are light workers. They're here to worship Yahawah openly. Some Yahshua are dark workers. They're here to enact the actions that Yahawah calls for, that the world would crucify them for. Right? There's all kinds of levels to the mind. So that's why I humbly ask Yahawah to show you yours. Are you a light worker? Or are you a dark worker? And regardless of what they say, darkness recognizes the light. The problem with the light is it comes from darkness. So the light can only recognize the darkness as Yahawah. Even though Allahayim is active in dark, or what we would call nothingness, or what we would call, I don't want to say ethers, but that has been used, but dark substance. And if you do a little studying, then you'll find that dark substance is the thing that so-called science is trying to master and manipulate. They're not worried about light. They understand light. Lucifer understands light. But where Lucifer ends is where Lucifer originally came from, which is the dark. So where Lucifers have problems is whenever the Alahims are dealing with the machinations of the Luciferians. It's not a problem for darkness to correct and reconstruct and break down light. But there is a problem when light tries to manipulate dark. It doesn't work. So here we are, still up against the wall. So like my brother Traytel says, y'all need to free your mind, man. You need to really grasp and take a hold of what Yahawah's teaching is and Yahawah's way. You need to walk, man. Like the tape player and the cassette and the CD. You need to walk, man. You need to grasp hold of what Yahawah is showing you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And just don't think that being part of Torah Nights, that you're stuck in having to explain one thing or one thing. But what your duty is to encourage people to return to Yahawah, not to show off your knowledge, because you don't own any knowledge. None of us own knowledge. But Yahawah is the master strategist. Why wouldn't Yahawah use people's desires to use knowledge as power, as a checks and balances system, as a way of correction? Why not? Why can't Yahawah use it? That's a joke, of course, because Yahawah can use everything for anything. But it's also a warning, because I've seen too many Israelites claim they know a lot of stuff and claim that they are the only sole ones who have access to things. But in all reality, Yahawah will tell you, just watch. Just watch. You know? I love lyricisms and rhyme. It's the prescription for the times. Squeeze the lime, hit you in the eye. Don't squint, sharpen you like flint. This ain't a stint unless it's wrapped around your leg. What? So I'm just trying to tell you, man, the mind snaps. I always try to tell brothers, I don't debate, man. Yahawah is king. And that's it. The Wad, the beloved. But what I can do is continue momentum. I can continue momentum, and I can keep Yahawah's circulation. Right? So we circulate. Brothers are waking up. They're realizing that the Levitical and the Zadoks are not the kings. Yahawah was not a king, but a priest. So as the Wad is here, the Wad is here. The king priest is here. You won't hear no prophecies. You're only going to get orders, and you're going to do it. You dig? Who has authority? Only Yahawah. Get our minds right? Oh man, what a beautiful day. So, you know, certain days we just generate. Certain days the generation slows down. It's like a dynamo. It's like a machine. We're a well-built machine. They're not. They can be like us. They just have to serve Yahawah. They can be like us. They can just humbly serve Yahawah. I can try to explain things that is even hard for me to communicate here in this English language, right? But if I was to say Zadok, Yahawah, Sirach, Yasanok, Yatoneshinoko, then to really understand stuff like that, you have to see it. But it's not going to be in Babylonian Hebrew script, though it can be deciphered. You have to go further back. You got to go to Amharic. You know what I mean? Because in some instances, Aramaic looks just like Babylonian script. So, you know, it is what it is. So forgive me if I'm all over the place. But, you know, I probably have the worst so-called ADD. But I'm trying. I'm not the most empathetic person, but I try. You know? Oh man. See, the thing is, I don't just say all this stuff. I meditate on what I say. Because only I'm going to be accountable for what's coming out of my mouth. You know what I mean? So I'm not one of those brothers that just spouts and spouts and spouts and spouts and spouts. You know what I mean? I have to go back. If I'm going to write a book, I got to go back and read it. Right? If I'm going to write some lyrics, I got to go back and read them. I have to edit them. I have to proofread. And I have to make sure that if I'm listening to it, then I'm going to get what I need to get out of it. Now, there's no guarantees, right? And this is where we stand as YAHSH scattered. So don't be fooled, man. Possibly the messages here, don't be fooled by the internet. I've said it before in the lyrics, and I'll say it again. Even though you see me on this internet, so-called, social media, so-called, don't think that this is my lifeline or this is what I rely upon. You know, I am a brother of the mind. I am a soul. I am in heaven. And I am here. All praises to Yahawah. You know? All I'm going to say is some brothers, some sisters, they have other duties to do that isn't specifically to be seen. Because if it was, then there would be nothing. Contingency plans. You know? If you're going to build an atom smasher, then you got to be prepared for atom to smash. So the trick is that we see here is that they build atom smashers. They think they're the ones using atoms to smash, or that they're the ones smashing atoms. But when in reality, they're just creating more atoms. Who is smashing them? Have you seen some of the mental conditions and the lifestyles of some of the people in science? Their lives are horrible, but they're great scientists. Because the mental capacity it takes to try to break down Alahayim will ruin your life. But you can try. All praises to Yahawah. Yeah, man. So yeah, we deal with dark riddles, man. It should be no surprise at this juncture that when you deal with JAHsh, you're dealing with dark riddles. That's my realm. That's where I live. That's where I am. I'm in dark riddles. Proverbial. I'm a proverbial statement that Yahawah is making. You know? And the saying goes, if you don't listen, or if you ignore it, then what you ignore could burn you. Happens to me, continues to happen to me, but that's okay, because Yahawah is the one teaching the lessons. So come on back home, y'all. Some people have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. Just the Torah, yo. The YAHAWAH. Branded Torah night.